Hello and welcome to Alma Missouri. This is episode 8. This episode is all about the harvest. Our neighbor in field 1, Mr. Hammond, Mr. Michael Hammond, has put out a contract for his field to be harvested, and we decided to take him up on it. We are using some of his machinery. We're using a harvester and his header, and then I'm going to use our harvester as well. First thing I'm going to do is do not quite a full headland, but you'll see how I'm going to do it. So we'll start off by doing, I'd say, about 3/4 of a headland, and then I'm going to cut straight up the field. So basically divided it into 2 parts, certainly not equal, and then I'll get a work on to Mr. Hammond's class harvester. Very nice. Slightly bigger than ours, but no good in having harvester envy between me and my neighbor. In any case, yeah, so this is working at a reasonable lick. I have sped up the process slightly just to just to speed it up, so that it's not a 5-hour video. We of course won't show everything, but I'm trying to give you the gist of what we've done, and we'll go through the whole operation right till the end. We are going to see how much money we can make out of this. Yeah, I do like the class. I suppose if we buy a second harvester, if we ever get into that situation, it'll be a consideration. I didn't actually compare the header widths. I think it might be slightly higher than the one that we're using. Another fairly odd shaped field, but as you'll see, it's not that bad. I'm just going to use our own trailer and tractor to collect the produce. Did you realize what happened there? I forgot to hook the trailer up. Yeah. Oh dear. Wasted a few valuable minutes there. Just skirt through the edge of the pond there, and we'll go and fill that up. It's got a reasonable capacity. I'm just buying a plough. I just caught a glimpse of there, because I'm going to be putting a work onto the field that we harvested. Let me just get that going. We'll do that on a worker, and I'll cover that in most probably the next episode. Just get him onto courseplay. And off he goes. Let's get back to the harvesting now. Right. catching that little bit at the edge there. I do like this the scenery. It's even in the fields, makes the fields feel even bigger than they are, because quite often you can't see the edge of the field, and that adds to the vastness. Right, so what I'm going to do here is I'm carrying straight up, so I'm cutting off the protruding edges, if you want to call it that. So the north-south axis here is pretty straight, and it leaves a vast proportion of the field that you can just do on an ordinary worker, which is going to help us out here because I want to use our own harvest as well. So I don't want to put this machine onto courseplay, just in case that interferes. So I'm just going to trim off the headland at the top here, just break that off. Then I'll go and empty this harvester directly into the silo, and I'll set that off with the worker along the edge that we've just created. And then I'll get our machine out, our harvester, and I'll tidy up that protruding edge, and then I'll set our harvester to work from the other side of this field, and I think that's probably going to be the most efficient way to harvest. Just got to get this corn header off. It's not going to harvest anything on this field. Might as well just get the machine all set up. Yes, I feel our header is a little bit narrower, but still, I like this case harvester. I've always liked them. And this is where I realized that I've made a bit of a mistake with the class. I should have been creating a swath, because I'm going to use the straw mod. I'll put the details in the description of the straw mod that we use, where you can collect straw from contracts. And as you'll see, it makes a huge difference. I'll just go and empty him out first, and then I'll get him going and change it over to swathing as opposed to spreading. So we've lost quite a few bales, but yeah, we're going to get the majority of them. Just a bit of joint work, so just at the beginning you caught sight of our case harvester going up and down on the little protrusion there. I'm just going to empty this out now. So that's kind of the way I'm going to be doing the rest of this harvest. Is I'll just be servicing the two harvesters in terms of collecting the product. We'll just get this started. Well, I think I'll empty it first. Struggling a bit to find the... There we go. It's the lucky thing of this field being really close to our silos. So I decided to, just because it's close, just to get everything into the silo, and then to deliver the contract at the end, just because it's a little way away to the delivery point, the grain mill. Right, so we can get this going, we get that going straight up and down. And as I said, we did this for the rest of the field, and here we are getting towards the end. You can see our harvester just bypassing. So what I did then, after our harvester had finished, I just used that to go and pick up all the stragglers, and that's pretty much the end of the harvest. There is still some left in the combine, but we'll just bring that back up to the farm and offload it directly. Let's empty that. Let's park that up now. We're going to need it shortly, really. So that's finished. We'll nip that up to the silo. I'm going to empty that off. I am enjoying the fall or autumnal colours of this map. Fantastic. The month of October has been a pretty long month, pretty productive month, but they normally are at this time of the year. Harvest coming in, all the little bits and pieces that need to be done around the farm. We'll just park that off there until we finish the contract, and we'll get it delivered back to Mr. Hammond. So there's only a tiny little bit left in our case harvester, and it wouldn't unload. It's only 100 and something litres, wouldn't unload into the auger. So eventually I just nipped around to the trailer and offloaded it directly into the trailer. But as usual, you've got something just in the way. Oh dear. I don't know why I parked up the trailer the way I did. That's normally where I park it when we finished a job, and we've nowhere near finished with the trailer yet. Right, so let's have a look and see. So we've got 134,500 of soybeans to be delivered. We've got 143 odd in the silo. So what's that going to be? Our trailer's 36 or 33,600. So that probably makes 3 and a bit deliveries we're going to have to make. But I'm not going to fully deliver. I'm going to deliver 2 loads now, and then I'm going to just hold off with the delivery. I have found with the collect straw from Contracts Mod that, and I'm not sure what triggers it off, but sometimes it just ends the contract. And I think it's if it goes into the next day, or it could also be if all the product has been delivered and the contract is technically finished. So that's why I will do a couple of deliveries just to get those out of the way, and then we'll come and bale up the straw, collect the straw, and deliver the straw. Because I think that where we make our real money on this contract is going to be selling the straw. We will keep a bit of it, but we'll sell the bulk of it simply because I don't want to have, I think I might have mentioned it in one of the other episodes, I don't want to have this situation where we run out of bale space. Actually, it could have been in one of the other series. We run out of bale space to do contracts. Just got to find, there it is, it's at the other end of the complex. The 300 horsepower John Deere struggles a bit. We're just passing the tractor and trailer that came with Mr. Hammond's contract. He just bought a new tractor and trailer. He said I could use it if I needed to, but the capacity of that is, I think 28,000 litres, whereas our trailer is 33. So I just decided to use our own equipment on this. We are going to make quite a bit of money out of it, so let's get this delivered. I would imagine this is probably going to be about 25% of the delivery. Yep, there we go. Right, let's get back to the farm. Go pick up another load, bring that down now. Yes, it looks like it's going to be 4 full loads. So we'll just bring down another load. I kind of like the layout of this farm. It's not a long drive in from the road before you get down to where all the action is. And yeah. Right, so we've made a couple of deliveries. And now we're just going to get started on baling all the straw. This is of course going to take quite a while. So we'll just do a bit to start with, and then we'll get back to you at the end. Our trusty baler. I say it every time. What a good buy. It's showing its age a bit now. A couple of scrapes and dings and what have you. So I think by the end of October we should have enough in our bale store to keep our cows happy and to keep the sheep happy. I was looking at the weather forecast. We've pretty much got next month where we're going to have to finish off the cornfield that we harvest, get that all ready and prepared for planting next season. Well, we might even be able to get a crop in before during November. We'll see what the planting calendar looks like. So coming towards the end of this, and we've got quite a few bales. Of course we've left quite a few bales on the field as well, but I think we've got 80% of what we could have off the field. So it is going to cost a bit, that early mistake. Try not to make it again. I'm thinking that we've onto the shopping list. We need to get a big tractor. I think maybe we'll try and keep our eyes open on the second-hand market during the winter. See if we can pick up a higher horsepower 400, between 400 and 500 horsepower tractor. It's not that these tractors can't handle it, but because of the undulations of the field, if you've got not so much this one, but even this one, when we're collecting the bales, you'll see struggles a little bit on the uphills. They don't look that steep, but they're certainly not flat, that's for sure. But that's a consideration. We'll put it onto the shopping list. Fairly low priority because we can get through. I mean, this tractor is 190, so it can handle this, and it just drops a little bit of speed when harvesting up the hill, but not much. It's just, hey, we've got big fields. We feel should be using the biggest tractor possible. This is the last of it now. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to hire a big autoloader trailer, just because there are so many bales, and I want to deliver at least 2/3 to the animal dealer. I think it's the only place that buys straw bales, and I'm not sure what the price is, but hopefully it's reasonable. And then we'll keep 1/3 of the bales we'll put into the bale store, and keep those for our cows, and of course to bulk up the TMR. That's it's still for the cows. Sheep are nice and easy, it's just pure grass. I might try and take another cut of grass, just depending how November goes, how much time we have in November, because we want to get that field done. We want to, if we are able to plant, to direct seed the wheat field that we harvested right at the beginning of the series. Try and get crops into those. Right, so that's pretty much done. Let's empty that out. We'll get this back to the washing area to be washed later, and we'll go and lease a auto-load baling trailer. Straw, that's a reasonable price, 120 something dollars per 1,000 litres. We've got a lot of 1,000 litres here. I think we've got 130 something bales, 137 odd bales I think. So this is the one we're going to get here. Just one word of warning with this trailer, always go down around about the middle. You have to manually change it to auto load, otherwise it's just a normal loading trailer. It's kind of what I do in my series. I know a lot of people don't like auto load, but I do, as I did for the bales early on, I do a bit of manual loading just to start with, although this time I did use a semi-auto load system, and that's just because I'd never done that before, and then just go into auto load, because otherwise we spend most of our time just baling and loading bales. Just get this into the auto start position, or the operation position, and we'll go and load up these bales. I'll just do a couple to show you them loading. So this trailer can take 42 bales, and that's kind of why I've chosen it, is just because it can get the job done fairly quickly. It's still going to take, we're going to have to take down 2 full loads down to the animal dealer, and then we'll still have, if my calculations are right, 31 bales that can go into our bale store for our animals. I just hope that I've got enough for this season. I think as our cow herd grows, I think it's full now, isn't it? Yeah. As our cow herd grows, we're going to have to be more, well, we're going to have to make sure that we've got enough, well, more than enough in our bale store. So I just hope it'll all work out. If not, we'll have to make a plan. This tractor is feeling the weight of this, but there is 42 8,250, I think, litre bales. So that's a fair amount of weight just coming into town. Just showing the drive through town because it's just a beautiful high street in the fall. All the autumn colours, or the fall colours. Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Is it going to pull out in front of me? No, thank goodness he's driving the other way. It's one thing that does irritate me, and quite often I just switch off the tractor, switch off the traffic, simply because they don't stop where a normal driver would expect them to stop. Stop streets and such like. I understand it's got to do with the scripting and programming of the game, but it can be a bit irritating where all your driving skills say to you that you have the right of way, but somebody just comes out and takes you out. The problem is they do stop, but you have to be well within. It's the cases where it's marginal, where a driver would normally stop because they can see you a little way down the road, where the program falls short. It's not a major problem because, as I said, if it's irritating you just switch it off. Takes a little bit away from the game, but in my opinion not too much. Right, I don't think we'll get that all into the, no we didn't, into the offload area, so we'll just pull this trailer out and we'll push it in with the tractor. Try pull over a little bit further forward the next time. Let's get this all reset. Just have to wait for the pedestrian to walk past before I drive across the sidewalk. Law unto ourselves, us farmers. Get that unhooked. Is that unhooked? Why am I struggling here? Oh, you haven't got the trailer, or you haven't got the trailer selected again. How many times have I made that mistake in this game? irritating. There we go. I thought I'd just leave that in. Could have edited it out, but leave it in just for chuckle factor. Oh dear. So, geez, we missed by quite a way. Is this going to go all over the place? Or... oh, it's okay. It's not too bad. Yeah, so that's roughly about 45,000 for that load. So the next load will be similar, I would presume. So you can see how much money you can make out of the bales if you're using the bale from Contracts Mod. As I say, I've put the link in the description for that mod. Really worth it. It does take quite a bit of extra time. I mean, this whole field most probably took a good 3 hours at least, maybe even more of actual real-time game time to do from beginning to end, and that's using 2 harvesters. I suppose we could have used more harvesters, and of course we could have just put it on to Courseplay and gone and done something else, but I am using Courseplay, but I'm also trying to do a lot myself, simply because I would enjoy it. So this is the second load now. We'll try and do a slightly better job of getting into the offload zone. It's another thing I've noticed, that even if you have the interactive markers off, the animal dealer's marker always stays on. I don't know if that's just peculiar to my settings or whether that's the same for everybody. I'm going to presume it's probably the same for everybody, but then again. Right, let's see if we can get more than we delivered the last time in one go. There we go. Yeah, that's better. Still 3 not delivered, so we'll have to do the same trick again. So I suppose it doesn't really matter which way you did, because they all went in one push the last time. This is going to go in one push. Well, famous last words. It's probably not going to go all in one push now. Little basketball field just across the road. Didn't notice that the last time. A lot of people have said that that this is a fairly accurate depiction of the Alma area, and I don't know whether the town is actually called Alma or not, or whether the district or the area is Alma. I need to look that up actually. Be worthwhile knowing. But I'm just wondering, well, I suppose I was just wondering whether the animal dealer would be a little bit close to the living areas, because anybody who's actually been onto a cattle farm will know it can get fairly pungent, can develop a bit of a smell. But it's a farmyard smell. But in any case, I digress. There you go, those are all in. Right, so we've just got our own bales to collect. We'll go and nip up and collect those now. So there's another reasonable amount of money. It's looking good. Let's get back to the farm. Yes, so that's over 90,000 made out of the straw bales, and we'll have 31 extra straw bales in our stock, so that's probably worth another 40,000 in terms of sales, and that compared to the contract, which I think was 29,000, but then of course we have to pay Mr. Hammond some back for using his equipment, and then we will still have a little bit of soybeans left over to sell, well, I would hope. This is probably another 15,000 or so there. So let's say we clear 24,000 plus 15,000, so 39. Let's say we make 40,000 from the contract as it is, slightly under that. I mean, we made more than that in one load of hay, so that hay mod is very worthwhile doing and adding on to your contracts. As I say, it does extend the time that it takes to do the contract, of course, and it just makes harvesting contracts more lucrative. You could of course just use the straw wool for yourself as well. It just means you don't have to buy it in. And I suppose it would depend on... No, but I mean, even if you are making enough straw on your farm for your needs, it's still worthwhile doing, because you can sell it and make the money, which you can spend on something else. Right now, I think the money that we're making is just giving us a little bit of winter security going through our first winter. So I'm most probably not going to spend a huge amount. We've still got a reasonable credit line with the bank, and I think I would have bought that wraparound field which I've spoken so much about. I think I would have bought that if there hadn't been a crop in there already. So I want to let that crop grow. Maybe we'll buy it early in spring. It's probably going to need some fertilizing, or maybe spray off the weeds. I don't know, we'll have a look at it. It's a big field. And then bring that harvest in, and then join the fields up after that, because it's a big field. I'm thinking that once again, although we may not get the full value of the purchase price of that field, it will go a long way to... It's probably paying off the interest. He's probably getting a bit sick and tired of me talking about this wraparound field. But I think, as I've probably said it, I think it's a must move. It's not a should I do it move. I think it's a must move. And the other thing to consider is getting this field that we're on, making Mr. Hammond an offer for this field, because we can add that on, and then it'll probably be our farm really done in terms of fields, and we'll be able to join up a lot of these fields or split them into more manageable units, especially if we don't get bigger equipment, and be able to cover more options in terms of the productions we eventually want to do. We've still got to, during the course of the winter, think about the tomato production. It's another job we'll have to do next month. We're probably going to have some tomatoes to deliver back down to the ketchup factory, which has kind of been running on empty for most of this month. So let's get these into the bale barn. And then that'll be our contract almost done. We've still got to finish off the deliveries of the soya beans that we got in store, sell the extra product, and then I think we can go for a well-run rest after we've done that. We start in November, the next episode. See if we can get this all in one load. Oops, going through the side. Oh dear. There we go, that's better. It's almost exact. It's bleeding a little bit, but not much. Right, so that's 31 8,000 litre bales plus, or 8,000 litres plus bales. Let's get this trailer returned, then we'll go and we'll make the rest of the deliveries to finish off the contract. Every time I see that light area of straw that was spread on that field, I just think it's probably 40,000 or 20,000 at least left on the field there. $20,000 of course. But you make these mistakes, you pay the price. Nothing you can do about that. Right, so let's just have a look and see how much we've still got to deliver. So 33,700 still to deliver. This is 33,600. Well, maybe it will complete, because yeah, I think it will complete, because I think this is set to deliver 80 or 90% of the requirement. I think that's the way the game is set. I'm not sure. So, well, yes, holding thumbs. Otherwise, we've got to come back, and it's going to be a little bit tricky because we're going to have to try and load as close to 100 litres as possible at the speed that this thing pumps out. It's probably going to be closer to 1,000, which we'll have to take down there. and that's just a little bit less that we can sell in the global market. I think the global market at this time of the year will be the best price export market. I think we're most probably going to be predominantly an export farm. Of course, if we get the right price locally. Right, so let's see if this fully delivers or not. Fully deliver, come on, positive thoughts, don't want to go back for 100 litres. Holding my breath here. And 6,000 to boot. Can't complain about that. Now let's see how much we can get for what's left in the silo. I'll get back to the farm and sell the soya beans that are left in the silo. Well, let's just finish off the contract. Take that money. Yeah, so 29,000 minus 3,000, so 26,000 odd for the contract. I don't mind having to pay for the use of the equipment. I think it just speeded things up. Also, we had to pay just over $1,000 to lease the autoload trailer, so that's another cost. 4,000 odd off, plus these wages of, I think it'll be around about $2,500 for wages for that job. About 2,000 because we're also paying wages for the other field that we were working on. So yeah, it's probably five, call it $6,000 worth of costs involved, if you include the diesel used and all that type of stuff. Well, I think that's where we're going to end this episode. We'll just park up the trailer. We've still got some soya beans in the silo. We'll get that sold at a later stage. Thank you so much for watching. If you've enjoyed this episode, please like and subscribe, and we'll catch you in the next episode. Cheerio.